Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our family service for today. Nice to have so many of you here and there joining us for this service. I'd like to introduce you to our chairperson for today. Today, again, we have Paolo Penguin joining us for our service. Sometimes you wonder who can we get to chair the service today, and wondering if there are enough people to participate but eventually we find someone always wants to help at the temple, and so we are able to get some assistance to lead and chair these services. Paolo was asking me, Sensei, I heard you're going to talk about haiku poems again today, so I'm really looking forward to this. Sometimes it's kind of like a snapshot of the world that the writer is writing about. So I really enjoy the haiku poems and looking forward to your talk today. All right, so good to have you here. Thank you for joining us, Paolo. I'd like to share the service order for today. We're going to have the reading of the Golden Chain today, the Golden Chain, and then this will be followed by the reading of Rai San Mon. And I'll take my seat up on the altar to chant the Sambujo and the Ni Rai. So you can prepare those and have them ready so you can participate as well. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and I'll come back here to the podium to share the Dharma message for today. Okay, so let us begin with the reading of the Golden Chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Rai San Mon. Ninjin ukegatashi imasure ni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasure ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezumba sarani izure no sho ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu morotomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daido taige shite ujoyo okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. 深く教蔵に入りて知恵海のごとくなら自らそうに消えし立てまつるまさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも愛をことかたし我今検問し従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てまつらん。ナモアミダウツ、ナモアミダウツ、ナモアミダウツ、ナマンダー、ナマンダー、ナマンダー。三部上、十二来。Namanda, namanda, 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 namanda. Oh 将来未だ損無義無垢故症状習徳形月行国小差利悪徳自在古賀将来未だ損実法名門菩薩衆無量小魔上三段一生修上願力中古賀将来未だ損本体保険知証系前言症状名誉大座お膝上尿線の古賀将来未だ損実法将来勝負し権限人図死安楽戦後尊厳上不行古賀将来未だ損小無常無跡薬尿水月伝尿路一種説法無明寺古賀将来未だ損一損仏説無悪病薬無尿になく道夫主任死心教非損古賀将来未だ損一損無量法勉強無所修悪知識往生不退死亡来古賀将来未だ損餓説非損功徳寺修善無変如海水小逆前言小乗者衛生種上昇以降なんだぶなまんだ Namanda, 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 namanda. Namanda, 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 namanda. Good morning again, everyone. Nice to have you here for this family service. And like Paolo previewed, I'm going to talk about haiku poems today. So I selected a couple of haiku poems, and they're always fun to read. They're so short and popping. This image. Today's I have selected Issa. So he's a very well-known haiku poem writer in Japan, Kobayashi Issa, and he was described as a lay Jodo Shinchu priest. Not quite sure what that meant in those days. He lived in from 1763 to 1826, and known as one of the four haiku masters, the Great Four, along with Basho, Busan, and Shiki. So Issa was a prolific haiku poet. He wrote something like 20,000 haiku poems about so many things that he would come across, everyday life scenes that he would come across, insects, frogs, snails, many types of things. And so today I picked a couple, and the first couple mention dew, the morning dew. So one of them goes like this: the pure morning dew has no use for this world. The pure morning dew has no use for this world. And so thinking of the dewdrops in the morning, might wake up early in the morning and going across the garden and seeing dewdrops that are glistening on the grass, or maybe clinging to a spider web, sometimes just making it so beautiful as it's reflecting the light of the sun through the dewdrops that are attached to the spider web. And so he writes this morning dew has no use for this world. So at that moment, such a beautiful scene, and then in an hour or two, it has dissipated and it's no longer there, leaving this world, having no use for this world. So really emphasizing this temporary nature that life has and then disappears. And so I was wondering, for Issa to be a Jodo Shinchu priest, all the more he would be aware of the writings of Nembutsu Shonin, customary for our tradition. When we have a funeral service, we read Nembutsu Shonin's letter on the white ashes, and in that letter is the line, "Those who leave before us are as countless and as fragile as the drops of dew." And hearing that often as we go to the funeral services of friends and family, that really stays with us, this image of the impermanence of life, the fragile, fleeting nature of life itself, and represented by the dew that we see, and in a little bit it's gone again. So to consider that Issa was touched by these words of Nembutsu Shonin, that he would see in everyday life the dew that he walks through and by every single morning. And then for us to have that same sense of dew and life and death draws us all together. Another poem: this dewdrop world is a dewdrop world, and yet, this dewdrop world is a dewdrop world, and yet. So being so beautiful, at the same time being so temporary, and not just here and gone, but there's so much more to the story, and so much more to each of our lives that come and disappear. So Issa had such a depth, he has a sense of humor too. So some of his poems are very reflective of his sense of humor. And one of them is like this: all the time I pray to Buddha, I keep on killing mosquitoes. So looking to the higher realms of human existence, and looking to the teachings of the Dharma, the truths of the Buddha, at the same time in our everyday life, killing mosquitoes, protecting ourselves, thinking of ourselves. And we do this back and forth, striving for the highest aspects of human potential. And yet we have this life in this world, self-concern. Mosquito lands, ouch, got him back, right? And we live like this too. We learn about the importance of life, but at the same time, it's our natural tendency to think mostly about ourselves. Okay. So, one final poem here. Okay. Where there are humans, you'll find flies and Buddhas. Where there are humans, you'll find flies and Buddhas. So again, in this world, human life connected to needs, food, we come and eat, maybe have a picnic or something, and the aromas of the food we're having, maybe the flies will come around and looking for us, looking for our foods, buzzing around. And at the same time, we live in this world of our human needs, but also the Buddhas are there for us to look for deeper truths, higher truths, to look for more than just this life, to look for the teachings and the comforts of the realm of the Buddha. So each of these show this juxtaposition of the realm of man, the realm of the Buddha, this world of my ego-centered struggle, and that world of the wisdom and compassion of Buddha. Samsara, nirvana, everyday life, enlightened life. So it's not a map we look for to get from here to there. It is to see that both of these coexist in each moment. And these haiku poems, particularly these today that we shared about from Issa, I think reflect this world that we look at. And maybe it guides us to, rather than to try to study the object of study of Buddhism, it is maybe to glimpse the realm of oneness through these short lines of a haiku poem. So I'll close by reading the first poem again. The pure morning dew has no use for this world. The pure morning dew has no use for this world. So I'd like to thank you for joining us, exploring these haiku poems from Issa, and we will conclude. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amidots, Namo Amidots, Namo Amidots, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you again for being here, joining us for this family service this morning. Please come up as you have prepared to do in your homes, and as if you were here, to offer incense, to offer pebbles or marbles or flower petals, whatever you have selected to do in your homes, to take a pinch and offering these to the realm of the Buddha, to step beyond ourselves, beyond our ego-centered shell, crack this shell, step beyond myself, and enter the realm of the Buddha. Thank you. Namo Amidots, Namo Amidos, Namo Amidos, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Namanda, 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 Namanda.